Welcome to my Friday night. I am outside with a little dog because if you have a little dog, that's something you're going to do regularly. We joke about his brain being the size of a pecan, but he's got a bladder the size of a thimble. So I grabbed my shoes and my jacket and my cap, and I said, "You coming?" And out the door he zoomed. He's like, "It's about time, Mama." I did not use the grill today. I did eat about 2:30 p.m. That's okay. I'm trying to decide if I want anything else, and then I'm going to sit up late playing a video game, because anyone who is trying to recover their brain as it used to be or as they wish it to become, anyone who has had a stroke or TIA, they need to be learning a language, learning an instrument, and playing a video game, of all things, and exercising. Today is a Friday. I exercise tomorrow morning. I generally exercise fasted. A lot of people don't. But you want to be done eating at least 2 hours before your workout. Where you at, little dog? There you go. I see you now. Yeah, gotta keep an eye on little guys. He's small enough for a large owl or a small eagle to carry him off. There's also coyotes and wild pigs and things in the world. But you watch out for your family, and that includes little bitty puppy dogs. It's okay, buddy. I'm not beating on you. Just reaching down and pet you. He's funny. You reach down and pet him. This is me, his favorite person in the whole world. And as soon as my fingertips touch his back, he scoots real fast. Just, I'm being good. Okay, buddy, come on. He did his business. Now he wants me to patrol the house with him and see if everyone's where they're supposed to be. Oh, look at that. I got some new leaves coming along on the avocado seedling, which is good because some of the old ones got a little bit sunburned, got a little brown on them. And that's okay. If it's nice outside tomorrow, it'll still spend some time out in the sun. Jacket will go there. I have to decide what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Or if I'm going to eat. Fasting is easier for me than it is for some folks. And with the pain in my lower back today, it might do me more good to do some fasting than to go to class. But if I go to class, I have the opportunity. There are a nurse and a doctor that might be there, and lots of black belts. And the black belts, with their years and years of training, I'll have a pretty good idea how a person might be moving wrong that might have caused a pain. And that's very handy when you've got medical people who are black belts who understand the construction of the body and the mechanisms by which some things might be very painful. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm usually not eating anymore after this hour, or even before this hour. But as I was saying, it's very handy to have people around who can say, well, if you moved wrong this way or that way, you might have problems with these muscles or these joints. Really good understanding would be needed for this because I'm hurting way down low at that last little section of the spine that's fused. That is not a normal place for me to have pain. But it is not sharp. It is not... I mean, we haven't been sparring, so I haven't been hit or kicked in the lower spine. That's not an issue. If my class were to start sparring, I would have to order gear when everyone else does and have an appointment, a good physical, before doing it, and that would have to include a DEXA scan. Because I was passing on the opportunity to spar in the past because I had just before that been diagnosed with bone loss. So that's something I think about now. Oh, there we go. I'm not running any special software. Pot of chili mac is on the stove, but I don't eat that because macaroni. But I got both fenders all done. A large part of the beams of the headlights. And a few more of the black pieces sitting around on the black table. And straightened up one issue with the grill. I had a piece out of place, and I got it where it needs to be, but it's not ready for a final picture. I mean, it's most of the black is still to be put where it needs to go, and the edge of the whole thing is sitting around in little strings of 2, 3, 4, and 5. But it's getting there. I will have a pretty puzzle picture all made up soon. And I like ZZ Top. ZZ Top was easy to laugh with when I was younger. If anyone's trying to think why I would be laughing with one or another brand of music, go look up, and you can probably find it on YouTube, the ZZ Top tune TV Dinners. That was a hilarious one. It was animated, and I think stop action, but it was a riot. And I was trying not to spend my entire day singing it. But it made inferences about the quality. All the mac and cheese and boxes of this and that the daughter and grandchildren are still eating behind me. And the homemade jam I made that was really good. I mean, I loved it. Peach jam, Fredericksburg peaches. Everyone in Texas knows that you get some really good peaches out of Fredericksburg. And I put habaneros in it. Those disappear into the peaches. They really do. Amazingly well, in fact. So well that I decided to be sensible in case the lid that was written on came off and was replaced with a different lid at some point during the use of the product. I had the habaneros and peaches cooked together, and then I put just a tiny sprinkle of red pepper flakes. Not for the flavor, the habaneros give it the flavor it needs, but as a visual, as a warning. I put red pepper. Powdered cayenne and red pepper flakes are essentially the same pepper. It's just how far you grind them. But a little pinch of cayenne in the clam chowder. Except now I eat carnivore, so I imagine the same recipe I was using for clam chowder when I was doing the Atkins induction phase would probably be good for carnivore. You use cream and you reduce it. Well, first you do your, you can boost up the meat content with some very finely diced ham, if you like, or some bacon. You get that in the pan. I'm sure there are some cauliflower nuts that would put some in. I don't. I have never been prone to putting cauliflower in a soup. Sorry, that's just the truth. There's so many people act like cauliflower is just the most wonderful, surprising, neutral. You can't hardly taste anything, flavor out there. It's gaggy. It's yuck. I don't want a cauliflower crusted pizza. I don't want cauliflower soup. I don't want cauliflower rice. I don't want cauliflower substitute for mashed potatoes. I taste it. It's awful. But for the clam chowder, yeah, you can up the content of the meat with a little bit of very finely diced ham or bacon. You can put a little bit of fresh onion or some those little bitty I often enough eat them shallots, a little bit of shallot, because they have plenty good flavor and you wind up using less. And you can set that stuff aside if you need to. If you're using fresh clams from the store, then you're going to do things you already know how to do, and you don't need me to describe it. if you have never done anything with fresh clams, be very careful. If they don't open when let to rest, throw them away. If they don't close when you tap one against another, throw them away. And if they don't spring open when cooked, throw them away. Because after they've been in the pot for a little while, they expire. I don't mean like your milk, I mean like they pass away. And when they do, the muscle relaxes. And then because the muscle relaxes, the hinge of the shell opens and they release their juices and you can get at the meat. At that point, you take all of the meat. You'd probably want it to cool a little bit. And you take all the meat out of the shells. Put it in the refrigerator over there and another one behind my left shoulder. And we keep both of them full. So when one failed after power outages and the power bumps that happen during thunderstorms, that hurt. It also hurt because I had made a great deal of homemade summer sausage from wild or feral hogs. It was tasty, but it was sitting in there in the fridge, and when you don't know how long the fridge has been out of power, because these things never fail in the early afternoon, right when you're going to notice. They fail later. They fail when you're in bed. Or they fail when the power goes out. Canned goods over there. Okay, back to the clam chowder. For induction phase or low carb clam chowder, you're taking care of your meats, a little bit of shallot if you want it. You can use some onion powder if you have one with a good flavor. You don't want to use something that's kind of old and nasty. If it's been sitting in the cabinet above your stove, please rethink how you do your spices, because steam, if the lid's not all the way down, will cause that onion powder to stick together in little lumps that you can't use for anything. But yeah, you get your cream. Now, if you want to have the thickness that I've mentioned before, because I do a white sauce sometimes, and since I'm allergic to something that's common in sausage, I will frequently have it with chopped bacon in it. Cooked chopped bacon. The kind you get in a big bag at Sam's Club. Or probably every warehouse club everywhere. But it gives a little bit of a smoke taste and a meatiness to it. But it will lose some fat in the cream and loosen it up. So if you want to kind of keep it a little bit on the thick side, you might put 1/8 of a teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum in there. And I remember looking up everything I could about this stuff. And it's not vegetable, it's not animal or mineral either, apparently, but it's hard to describe. Go find it. But it does bind with the fat when you're cooking it. But if you're reducing some cream to get thickness, this will make it faster. So you get some thickness happening. And then you put your cooked clams and your bit of bacon or ham or whatever else you're using into this cream. And you put your shallot, or you put some onion powder. There's options. A tiny bit of cayenne. I like that. And you just simmer it till you're ready to have some soup. And it freezes well. You don't want to get it all the way as thick as you can if you're planning to freeze a lot of it, because I'm trying to find all my puzzles, all my pieces, parts. You know how it goes. That one goes there. Okay. So close. Might be done with it this weekend. But, if you have some thickness, some loft to the soup base, the cream, and you have enough other stuff in there, this helps suspend the meat and other little bits throughout the cream. That way, you're not just eating spoonfuls of cream and hoping you find your clams. You can always put extra clams. It's not a big deal. It's your soup. When you make a recipe, it's okay to make changes that make it yours. And the cat was just over by the places I had my drink sitting, knocking my water bottle over. My club soda bottle with water in it. There we go. But if you need a little salt in your soup, that's up to you. If you need, that's my mom and dad up there above my shoulder there. But if you need, you can't just take someone else's recipe and try to do it by the letter all your life. If it's going to be better and make you happier by using a little red pepper, which I guarantee you my mom never would have. She didn't like anything spicy. If any of you have ever heard of the restaurant Taco John's, that was about the spiciest she would eat. Because there was a Taco John's in Douglas, Wyoming. And, small amount of taco meat, a tiny bit of finely shredded cheese, water bottle, my club soda bottle, But, I think she got hers with a slice of tomato. And it was served on a burger bun. So, it was actually pretty fast and easy to eat. It should not be mistaken for Mexican food. Just like Taco Bell. I don't really have a problem with either one of them. Just be realistic. Until you've had Mexican food made by real Mexicans, there's a lot you're not experiencing. But if the idea of putting taco meat on a burger bun makes you think that your kids might be fooled into opening that up, opening the paper wrapper and eating it without taking off the tiny bit of lettuce and slice of tomato, or diced tomato, whatever you want to put, that's an idea you can use for a dinner. And you can sure make it cheap enough at home. Mom would be horrified. Dad would eat it. Dad would actually probably take himself out to the Mexican place that my mom didn't like. Went there with him the last time we were up. I need to get to Wyoming again. It's a long run, but there's a lot of beautiful along the way. And Wyoming is very beautiful itself. Hey, Dyson. What, buddy? Yeah, show your doggy on the phone. See the doggy? It's too close to his face. Yeah, I'm getting cuddles now. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. He's probably concerned that I have not made dinner and that Daddy's still not home. Like I said, he's out weekend with the guys. They're going to install some lights that might make shooting said feral hogs a little bit more likely. Because when you're running a deer feeder, those things will come around and eat up every scrap of the food that's available. And if you want to know something your deer and any local squirrels will like, is peanut butter. Take the jar lid off of a full jar. It'll get messy. Now, you run a screw through the jar lid and into the nearest tree or post or something. You want to be a good 5 feet up off the ground. Somebody is slamming himself against my abdomen. It's kind of funny. He's like, pat me, pat me.